Good morning. I call to order the meeting of the Philadelphia City Commissioners Board of Election for Wednesday. Date is wrong. Not the right date. It's not the right date. We got February, March 13th. For March 13th. This meeting is in compliance under the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. Philadelphia City Commissioners are a three-member bipartisan board of elected officials in charge of elections and voter registration for the County of Philadelphia. Each commissioner is elected to serve a four-year term that coincides with the municipal election cycle for mayor and city council. The commissioners set and enforce departmental policies and administer to voter registration and conduct elections in accordance with federal, state, and voter registration election laws. City commissioners were created by the Pennsylvania Assembly in 1711 with a focus on taxation and held various regulatory powers throughout the centuries. The commissioners started maintaining voter lists in 1719 and took on more election-related responsibilities, but didn't emerge in its current form until the adoption of Philadelphia's Home Rule Charter in 1951. We will start off with public comments. Before beginning their comments, commenters shall state where they live or if they are not a resident of Philadelphia and that they are Philadelphia taxpayers. Public comment is not an opportunity for dialogue or Q&A. It is a public comment, a chance for you to tell us what you think. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to speak. However, I may extend the time at my discretion. Public comment must concern matters only on today's meeting agenda. Finally, it is my responsibility to preserve the order and decorum of the meetings. As such, profane, slanderous, discriminatory, please raise your hand and I will recognize you. Outbursts will not be tolerated. Anyone wishing to offer a public comment, please step forward. We will now move to a report from Secretary Bluestein for email public comments. Commissioner, are there any email public comments?
There were no public comments emailed by 9:45 a.m.
Thank you very much. We will now proceed to old business. First, we will have a report from our Director of Election Administration and Operation, which will be reported by Joe Lynch and Stephanie Reid.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Our report for today, March 13th, 2024. For our voter registration report, we processed a total of 72,402 registration applications so far. Out of these, 6,250 were sent to us on paper. All applications are up to date, and we are proofreading and making any necessary corrections. We also mailed out 14,271 voter ID cards, and 22,000 return undeliverable mail-in applications have been scanned and processed and sure. You could strike that last sentence where it says all court cases are now finished. The supervisor meant to say that all petition challenges are complete. For the County Board of Elections report, we're still accepting mail-in and absentee ballot applications, and the deadline for the primary election mail-in applications is April 16th at 5 p.m. Voters can apply online at vote.phila.gov. So far, we've approved 71,085 vote-by-mail applications, which is 6,185 more than last week's reported numbers. We've processed 44,356 paper applications and 26,729 electronic applications. We're currently up to date on processing mail-in and absentee ballot applications. Additionally, we have mailed out 389 UOCAVA ballots. For our election board report, confirmation calls and emails for board workers continue. We have confirmed a total of 5,563 board workers with 200 declines and left messages for 489. Additionally, we currently have 1,904 poll workers registered for training, So far, 3,411 have attended seminar trainings, and 1,471 have attended express poll refresher training sessions. With the online training now accessible, 416 poll workers have completed training online. The polling place unit has been confirming locations, and out of 692 locations, 685 have been confirmed as polling sites. All polling sites must be confirmed by April 3rd. Any changes after April 3rd will require a court order to relocate. We have encountered one refusal and 55 polling place changes. Efforts are underway to secure substitutes for refusal and accommodate relocation requests. Satellite election office leasing efforts are progressing across the board, with most offices advancing into the lease draft phase, excluding Districts 1, 4, and 8. Unfortunately, the landlord for District 4 withdrew from lease negotiations due to a better offer from another tenant, prompting us to explore other locations. On a brighter note, District 8 has transitioned into the letter of intent phase, marking a significant step forward. District 3 is on track to open its doors to the public on March 18, 2024, with an opening event slated for April 2nd, 2024. Negotiations for satellite election office locations in District 1 are underway, and discussions focusing on a site that will become available when another city department relocates this summer. Thank you. That's all I have.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm pleased to present the weekly administration report for the week of March 13th, 2024, showcasing the remarkable progress and achievements across our departments. In budget and procurement, our efforts are yielding fruitful results. Lanyards are on track for delivery by March 19th, and routine processing of POs and invoices for essential services is underway, including poll book printing and ballot box wrapping. Additionally, corrections to poll worker pay have been filed with finance, and we're actively following up with the RDS vending and Parks and Rec for Election Day food and beverage services. Communications have been robust and effective with the rollout of branded templates and streamlined documentation creation. Public-facing materials, including satellite election office posters and presentation docs, have been meticulously crafted. Engagements with key stakeholders have progressed smoothly, focusing on language access materials and social media content development. Engagement efforts continue to thrive, with approvals secured for various tabling events and voting machine demos at strategic locations. Distribution of election materials has been extensive, fostering community engagement and awareness. Staff attendance and participation at events such as the Northeast Philadelphia Development Corporation Lunar New Year Banquet have bolstered our outreach efforts significantly. On the human resources front, recruitment activities are in full swing, with a significant portion of positions filled or in the pipeline. Our Human Resources Department is continuing the process of hiring 25 Clerk 1s, 5 trades helpers, and 30 temps. As of now, we've made considerable progress with the following hires. 18 temps have been onboarded, with 12 positions still open. 8 Clerk 1s have been hired, leaving 17 positions to fill, and 3 trades helpers have been recruited, with 2 positions remaining vacant. Our current workforce totals 152 employees, consisting of 124 civil service employees and 28 exempts. Within the civil service roles, we have 42 Clerk 1s, 21 Clerk 2s, 12 Clerk 3s, and 13 trades helper positions. Surge staffing preparations are underway, with orientations and training sessions being organized to ensure seamless operations. In the surge staffing report, significant progress has been made in mobilizing resources for our upcoming operations. The sign-up link for surge staffing was featured in the city's newsletter this week, resulting in a substantial response. There are 477 individuals that have already signed up, and the administration is making progress on meeting our staffing needs. In 2 weeks, we will commence the scheduling of polling place liaisons, with comprehensive training sessions planned by the administration in coordination with our office to ensure they're equipped to meet the demands of the role effectively. Additionally, administration efforts to secure e-car drivers has begun. Confirmation emails for e-car driver assignments commenced distribution on March 12th, resulting in over 30% of the contacts from the previous election confirming their availability by 4:30 that day. While we require 78 e-cards for our operations, we have successfully confirmed 27 individuals thus far. Furthermore, confirmation emails have been dispatched to Dropbox lockers and Dropbox locker leads for Election Day operations, with 52 lockers confirmed for deployment. We're grateful to the administration for their ongoing commitment to supporting our staffing needs for each election. Satellite election offices are taking shape with finalized policies and procedures set for presentation during today's Sunshine meeting. In the domain of information technology, significant progress has been made in satellite election office installations, computer upgrades, and configuration of Dell equipment for deployment to satellite offices. Screening for the technical support specialist position is progressing well, with promising candidates identified for further consideration. It's been a highly productive week across all of our departments, with determined efforts focusing on enhancing efficiency, outreach, and technological capabilities. I extend my sincerest appreciation to all team members for their dedication and hard work. Thank you.
Thank you for your reports. Vice Chair Deeley, do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. May I ask questions of the Director of Election Administration, please?
Yes, you may.
Ms. Reid, how many of the remaining districts do we actually have LOIs for the satellite offices?
I would defer that to Joe Lynch. That's under him.
I believe they're all in process right now.
All 10?
All nine more.
9. So we have LOIs for 9.
I can
Satellites.
confirm that with Vanessa when we'll get through this meeting.
Okay. So we secured 1 and 4 last summer, and we just lost them, and we're still without a location in 8. We
Yes.
have less than 8 months before the presidential election, and we are only opening 1 for the primary when we were hoping to have at least half open. Realistically, Ms. Reid, what are the chances that you will have 10 satellite offices open for this November's election?
Well, I'll answer that, Commissioner.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Respectfully,
Mhm.
I've asked questions to Ms. Reid over and over again, and I've become very concerned that when I ask questions, they just get pivoted to Mr. Lynch. You should know the answers. It's supposed to be your plan. You are the person in charge. So
All right,
could you
well,
please
can I
answer my
just-
question?
Can I just say one thing? I understand, but we are pushing to have all 10 of those open by November election.
Okay. So last week, when I asked what was your plan for having the satellite elections offices staffed and keeping up with the voter registration and the mail-in ballot applications, Mr. Lynch said that you were going to use the city surge staff. That's other department staff that come in after their normal shift to do the data entry. This week, I was informed that you plan to open the satellite offices 7 days a week and expect staff to be there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, plus weekend hours. So my question now is, have you put any more thought into how you are going to staff these satellite offices?
We are talking about how some people might get tired and might not want to work the hours, but we're going to have to deal with that as it comes
Okay.
along.
I just want to remind you that we are down 17 clerk positions and that you cut 5 more clerk positions, as well as the funds for the surge staffing from our recent budget request. And respectfully, again, I would just mention that I've asked these questions of the administrator, Stephanie Reid. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Secretary Bluestein, do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to point out that the Deputy Executive Director for Satellite Election Offices reports to Mr. Lynch as the Director of Election Operations. So I just want to make that very clear for the record. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, thank you, Secretary Bluestein. We are aware of that, but the Director of Operations reports to Ms. Reid. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the rules on January 10th make very clear that both the Director of Election Operations and the Director of Election Administration report to the board in its entirety. I'm ready to move on. Thank you.
Just as a whole, right? The rules that we all agreed on as a
I would
board.
take exception, we did not all agree, but they did pass. Thank you.
Well, it passed the board, so we all represent on the board. So as the board passed the rules, you have to ask for, to be recognized by the chairperson. And then the chairperson speaking, you didn't get recognized. I'm just repeating the rules that were adopted by the board. Was that there's permission by the chairperson, then the chairperson recognized that person. That's all that I'm saying. And again, if we need copies to be sent out to everyone on the rules that were agreed upon, then I can forward everyone over so we're on the same page. And moving forward, this completes our old business for today's meeting. We will now proceed to new business. We will begin by considering the first agenda item under new business. A motion to adopt and implement Philadelphia Office of City Commissioner Satellite Election Office policies. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioners, do you have any comments on this item before we proceed to vote?
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair Deeley?
I have none.
Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Being moved and properly second. Oh. The ayes are 3, the nays are 0. With the majority of members having voted in the affirmative, the motion passed. We will now move to the next agenda item, polling location change. We will hear from Mr. Charles Stroman. Good morning,
Good
Charlie.
morning, Charlie.
I have 8 changes proposed, and the first will be in the 9th Ward and 17th Division. That would move out of Chestnut Hill Friends Meeting to the Chestnut Hill Tower, and that's moving it into the division.
Having heard the recommendation of the professional staff, I move that we accept the polling change for 9 Ward, 17th Division. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Stroman, please proceed.
The next set of changes will be in the 10th Ward, the 5th Division, and the 22nd Division. They are both moving out of the Paragon Banquet Hall to the storefront at 7180 Ogons Avenue, and that's due to a refusal.
So that was 20. Mr. Stroman, that was 22nd and 23rd, right?
5 and 22.
Okay. Having heard the recommendation of the professional staff, I move that we accept the polling change for Ward 10, Division 5, and 22. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bluestein, Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Mr. Stroman, please proceed.
Next one is the 10th Ward again in the 8th Division, moving out of the Rowan School to the Building 21 School, and that is for voter convenience.
Having heard the recommendation of professional staff, I move that we accept the polling change for Ward 10, Division 8. Is there a second?
Second.
Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Stroman, please proceed.
The next set will be in the 10th Ward again, Ward 10, Division 16 and Division 27, moving out of the Paragon Banquet Hall to the Excelsior School, and that is due to a refusal.
Having heard the recommendation of the professional staff, I move that we accept the polling change for Ward 10, Division 27. Is there a second?
Second.
Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Stroman, please proceed.
Next one is in the 10th Ward again, the 23rd Division, moving out of the Congregation Temple Bethel to the storefront at 7163 Stenton Avenue. That is due to a religious holiday.
Having heard the recommendation of professional staff, I move that we accept the polling place change for Ward 10, Division 23. Is there a second?
Second.
Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Stroman, please proceed.
Last but not least, in the 22nd Ward, the 4th Division, moving out of the Germantown Jewish Center to the Emlyn Arms Apartments, and that is due to a religious holiday.
Having heard the recommendation of professional staff, I move that we accept the polling change for Ward 22nd, Division 4. Is there a second?
Second.
Secretary Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion carries. Real quick. Do we have, what about this one? Yeah, this one.
That's all I have, Commissioners.
Is it? Okay. All right. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you. It's always a pleasure. I know the election's close and we see you, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now move to the other portion of our agenda. Vice Chair Deeley, do you have any business need to be raised at this meeting?
I do not, Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Bluestein, do you have any other business to be raised at this meeting?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have none.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'd like to thank all the staff. I know this transition has been difficult on some people, but we definitely have been working hard, tireless hours, and I'm seeing the work, and I can guarantee, right, that we're going to have the best election that we ever had. Here on the other business, I motion to adjourn today's meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion to adjourn passes. Meeting is adjourned.